In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on January 28, 2023 and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Texas versus Tennessee. A top 10 matchup highlights an excellent Southeastern Conference Big 12 challenge when number 10 Texas visits number 4 Tennessee. The Longhorns cut down Oklahoma State at home on Tuesday, 89-75, covering as -8 favorites. The Volunteers completely stuffed Georgia at home on Wednesday, winning 70-41 as -16.5 favorites. It's a battle of Rick Barnes' old school versus his new one with the Thompson Bowling Arena. The Tennessee defense has been insanely good this season, making good offenses look pedestrian at times. Kentucky, the 3rd highest scoring team in the Southeastern Conference with 76 points per game, were held to just 63 by the Vols, and they actually won their game. They held number 3 Kansas to 50 points early in the season and number 13 Maryland to 53 points along the way. 8 times this season the Volunteers have held their opponent under 50 points. Texas recently scored just 67 points against Iowa State, the best scoring defense in the Big 12. Tennessee's defense is somehow getting stronger as they go and gaining experience against top-notch offenses along the way, proving they can handle them. They hold a rebound advantage over the Longhorns and should be able to manipulate that to guide their offense as well. Tennessee is 2-1 against the spread in the last 3 meetings between these teams, so the Tennessee Volunteers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. These teams enter averaging a combined 155 points per game on the season. Despite the fact that the Volunteers are stuffing other teams' offenses, they have been able to do enough of their own on offense to carry 5 of their last 7 games over the total. The over is 11-7-2 in Texas games this season and 3-1-1 over their last 5 games. The Longhorns rank 74th in Ken Palm's tempo ratings and Tennessee ranks 190th, so this game could see the pace switch up often. 2 of the last 3 meetings between these teams went over, including a 2006 affair that saw a total of 216 points scored. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Gonzaga versus Portland. The 14th-ranked Gonzaga Bulldogs will travel to the Chili Center on Saturday evening in a West Coast Conference matchup to take on the Portland Pilots. The Bulldogs are 17-4 so far this season and are coming off a 99-90 road win last Saturday against the Pacific Tigers. The Pilots are sitting at 11-12 right now and are coming off a 79-60 road loss on Thursday against the Loyola Marymount Lions. These teams played back on January 15th and Georgia picked up a 115-75 home win. Gonzaga is 0-6 against the spread in their last 6 road games and 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 road games against a team with a winning home record, while the over is 8-0-1 in their last 9 games against a team with a losing record. Portland is 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games against a team with a winning record and 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games against a team with a winning percentage above .600, while the overs 13-3-1 in their last 17 games against a team with a winning record. You have to wonder, have the books given up on Gonzaga? This margin looks laughable until you dive in between the lines and you notice either the talent gap between Gonzaga and the field isn't as large, or their inability to defend has become that alarming. If you put the LMU loss aside, road wins over USF, Brigham Young University, Santa Clara, and Pacific have all been by less than double figures. I know one thing for sure, I won't bet against a Bulldogs team that just beat the Pilots by 40 points 2 weekends ago. I'll die on the hill with Gonzaga here, so the Gonzaga Bulldogs to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both of these programs are pushing the pace throughout the season, as well as Portland is 64th in the sport with 73 possessions per game, while Gonzaga is currently 27th with 74.8 possessions per game thus far. Diving into the previous 5 games before this meeting, these teams are scoring the ball extremely well, as the Bulldogs are averaging 87 points per game while the Pilots are scoring 81 points per game. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Kansas versus Kentucky. Two of the most well-known college basketball programs square off when the Kentucky Wildcats host the number 9 Kansas Jayhawks on Saturday at the Rupp Arena. The Kansas Jayhawks are 5th in the Big Ten despite their number 9 ranking and have lost their last 3 games in a row. Meanwhile, Kentucky is also 5th in their respective conference and have won 4 games in a row. I have faith in the defending national champions. They have been slipping recently, but all their losses have been against ranked teams. They play 3 more ranked teams after this matchup, so I expect them to keep the intensity. This would be a trap game for Kansas considering they play number 5 Kansas State in the following game, but they don't want to face Kansas State on a 4-game losing streak. Although Kansas has given up more points per game than Kentucky this season, opponents have shot worse against Kansas. The Jayhawks are shooting better from the floor as well and has more scoring depth than the Wildcats. Finally, Kansas is better from the free throw line, a factor that might determine the outcome of the game. The Wildcats are 2-7-1 against the spread in their last 10 home games, and Kansas has not lost against an unranked team this season. The Jayhawks are averaging 76 points per game and 74 points per game on the road. They average 63 points per game in their last 3 games against the Wildcats. They play at a fast pace, averaging 71.9 possessions per game, but they're facing a team that is giving up 62 points per game at home, so expect them to be held under their average in this game. The Wildcats are averaging 76 points per game and 82 points per game at home. They average 71 points per game in their last 3 games against the Jayhawks. They play at a slower pace, averaging 69.4 possessions per game. Even though the Jayhawks are giving up 70 points per game on the road, they gave up 73 points per game in their last 3 road games. In a game as intense as this, the offenses tend to shine. 2 of the most prominent schools in the country will need to prove themselves in this contest for different reasons. Both teams are better on the offensive end as opposed to the defensive end, and both teams are shooting over 35% from 3-point range. I expect both teams to score near their average of 75 points per game, which would clear the over easily. Both squads do a solid job at handling the ball and limiting their turnovers, especially in a game where every possession will matter. Neither defense limits their opponent that much from the 3-point line, and they combine to average just under 134 points per game. I don't expect either offense to go under those averages. The Wildcats have hit the over in their last 6 home games, and Kansas has hit the over in 16 of their last 23 road games versus an opponent with a winning home record. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.